Let's get going here on Star Trek Radio Theater, coming at you. Hopefully the feed has engaged. And hello, everybody. Welcome. And good afternoon. Welcome to our little show. Live Long and Podcast is pleased to present to you today our 5th edition of Star Trek Radio Theater. On this new show, our podcasters reenact Star Trek episodes from various series, many of us playing multiple characters within. So this week we're doing Star Trek, the original series by any other name, which is the 21st or 22nd episode, depending on how you're counting, of the 2nd season, which aired in 1968 in February. This is a story by Jerome Bixby, which was also joined in Teleplay by DC Fontana. I also want to thank our script editors, Kevin and Ashley Millard, who do a great job making sure these scripts are in place each week. And if you don't know yet, we have 2 new talents who have joined us on Live Long and Podcast, Nightingale Nguyen and Michael Chan. Welcome to you both. They're both here in the background. We're all on audio right now, all of our performers. So welcome to you both, and we'll bring out the whole cast after and introduce everybody. Just a disclaimer. All these performances are artistic reinterpretations of the original performances. Some are imitations, some are very much not that. So everything is done with the utmost fan appreciation. And of course, all of this is intellectual property that belongs to CBS, Viacom, and any content we use is just fair use. This is all for fun and to have some good times. All right, let's get this started, everybody. I'm going to come off screen and enjoy the show.
Fade in on the Enterprise orbiting a Class M planet. We cut to the planet's surface. A landing party of Kirk, Spock, McCoy, Yeoman, Thompson, and Lieutenant Shea have just beamed down. Spock is scanning the area with his tricorder while the rest of the away team breaks off and starts looking around.
No life form readings, Captain. Continue scanning.
Well, somebody sent a distress call.
No sign of the spaceship. No sign of debris.
I'm getting readings of small metallic objects, Captain. It's possible the ship was destroyed in space, and the survivors proceeded here in a shuttlecraft.
But where are they?
Captain, I'm getting a reading now. 2 human forms at bearing 300 Mark 7.
Confirmed.
A man in an orange jumpsuit and a female in a blue jumpsuit approach. When they reach the landing party, they stop. The away team sizes up the strangers. Kirk, Spock, and McCoy walk toward them.
I'm Captain James T. Kirk of the Starship Enterprise. We came in answer to your distress call.
It was very kind of you to respond so quickly, Captain. Now you will surrender your ship to me.
Kirk has a look of surprise on his face and glances at Spock and McCoy.
You have a very strange sense of humor, Mr.
The man presses a button on his belt, and Kirk, Spock, and McCoy are immobilized. The woman does the same to the Yeoman and guard.
I am Rojan of Kelvan. I am your commander from this moment on. Any efforts to resist us or to escape will be severely punished. Soon, we, and you, will leave this galaxy forever. You humans must face the end of your existence as you have known it.
Space, the final frontier. These are the Voyagers of the Starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Here we go.
Whoa.
Cue the lawyers.
We fade back to the planet's surface. The away team is still immobilized, and the female stranger is collecting all of their gear and weapons and discarding them under a bush.
You are all paralyzed by a selective field that neutralizes nerve impulses to the voluntary muscles. We can control you at will. I will now release you.
The away team is now able to move. The security officer immediately begins to move towards...
Stay there.
But Kirk stops him.
It's all right.
Captain?
Interesting. A neural field?
Yes, radiating from a central projector.
What do you want?
You're a ship, Captain Kirk. It will serve us well in the long voyage that is to come.
Voyage? Where?
To your neighboring galaxy, which you call Andromeda.
Andromeda? Why?
It is our home.
What brings you here?
Within 10 millennia, high radiation levels in our galaxy will make life there impossible. So the Kelvan Empire sent 4 ships to explore other galaxies to search for one our race can conquer and occupy.
Well, sorry. This galaxy is already occupied.
Captain, you think you are inconquerable and your ship impregnable, but while we have talked, the capture has already begun.
We cut to the Enterprise bridge. Chekov and Scotty are working away at their stations while other crew members rush around in the background.
Something penetrating the planet.
Increase power to shields!
Cut to engineering. A male in a purple jumpsuit appears in engineering and immobilizes the crew there. He sits down at a console and begins to work. Focus on bridge.
It's dead, sir. All major power disabled.
And red alert!
Red alert. All personnel, man your battle stations. Go to red alert.
Cut to life support control. A woman appears in life support and immobilizes the crewmen. Focus on bridge.
Engineering, come in.
Life support, come in.
A man in brown appears on the bridge and immobilizes the bridge crew. He walks through the bridge, inspecting the frozen crew, over to the comm station and flips a switch.
Drea, Tomar, report.
We focus on life support.
Life support, normal. Secure.
We focus on engineering.
Engineering is secure.
We focus on the bridge.
Rojan, Hanar here.
We focus on the planet's surface.
Report, Hanar.
The ship is ours. We control the bridge, engineering, and life support systems.
Proceed with your orders.
Kirk moves towards Rojan and pauses when he sees Kelinda has moved her finger over the button on her belt.
What's the point of capturing my ship? Even at maximum warp, the Enterprise couldn't get to Andromeda Galaxy for thousands of years.
Captain, we will modify its engines in order to produce velocities far beyond the reach of your science. The journey between galaxies will take less than 300 of your years.
Fascinating. Intergalactic travel, requiring only 300 years. That is a leap far beyond anything man has yet accomplished.
You made a voyage of 300 years? Our ships were of multi-generational design. We were born in the intergalactic void. We shall die there during our return journey.
And our return mission will be completed by a commander who is my descendant.
What happened to your ship?
There is an energy barrier at the rim of your galaxy.
Yes, I know. We've been there.
We managed to break through it with great difficulty. Our ship was destroyed. We barely managed to escape in a life craft. And now we have to begin our journey back to Andromeda.
Why use our vessel? Why not transmit a message to your galaxy?
No form of transmission can penetrate the barrier.
Rojan, there's no reason to do this by force. Let's take your problem to the Federation. Research expeditions have cataloged hundreds of uninhabited planets in this galaxy suitable for colonization.
We do not colonize. We conquer! We rule! There is no other way for us.
In other words, the galaxy isn't big enough for the both of us.
The Federation has handled foreign invasions before.
Captain, we can control the Federation as easily as we control you. The fate of the inferior in any galaxy.
Hanar suddenly appears on the planet.
All is proceeding according to plan, Rojan.
Kelinda, take them to the holding area. We will keep you and your party here, Captain. Your crew will undoubtedly wish to cooperate with us if they understand that you are hostages.
Move there.
The away team moves off with Kelinda. Hanar and Rojan have a conversation.
Tomar has examined the ship. The modifications are underway.
Space again, Hanar. I do not think we could have kept our sanity living too long on this accursed planet.
It is an undisciplined environment. One cannot control it, yet there are things of interest.
Yes, but disturbing. These shells in which we have encased ourselves, they have such heightened senses to feel, to hear, to smell. How do humans manage to exist in these fragile cases?
Since the ship was designed to sustain these forms, we have little choice.
At least we'll be away from all this openness. This is too strange for us, Hanar. We are creatures of outer space, and soon we will be safe in the comforting closeness of walls.
We focus on the away team in what appears to be a cave, outfitted with bars across the opening to turn it into a cell. Spock is examining the bars.
Fascinating material. Similar to Dibernium, but considerably more dense.
All right, we can't break out. There must be another way.
I doubt even phaser fire could disturb its molecular structure.
Captain, what do they want from us?
That's a very good
What
question.
kind of people are they?
They register as human.
No, Doctor. More than that. They registered as perfect human life forms. I recall noting the readings were
Spock,
almost classic.
What are the
textbook
odds in such
responses.
absolute duplication
Most
of life forms in
curious.
another galaxy?
The chances are very much against it.
Captain. The security officer grabs Kirk's attention to alert him to the fact that Kelinda is now at the door and listening to them. They huddle closer together and speak quieter. Captain, however perfect they are, there don't seem to be very many of them. Why?
They have the paralysis field. Rojan mentioned something about a central projector.
Yes, if we could put that out of operation, we might have a chance.
Gentlemen, I'm constrained to point out we do not even know what the projector looks like.
Those devices on their belts might indicate the source of the force field.
Possible. I would have to examine one of them.
You'll have one, sir, if I have to rip one of the Kelvans apart to get it for you.
Shea, you'll get your chance, but you'll do it under orders. On MNR 7, you were able to trick the guard by a Vulcan mind probe.
Yes, I recall. I led him to believe we had escaped.
Do you think you could do it again?
I shall attempt it.
Kelinda seems to be getting nervous as Spock makes his attempt. Then he is suddenly thrown across the cell. As they go to his aid, Kelinda enters. Kirk grabs her and knocks her out with a judo chop. He lays her down on the ground and takes the belt device. Then he rushes over to Spock's side.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I will be all right, Captain. We must hurry.
The away team comes running out of the cell, but Rojan and Hanar are out there. Hanar immobilizes Kirk. Kelinda exits the cave and is given her device back. Rojan releases Kirk.
This cannot go unpunished. Hanar, that one.
Rojan points to Lieutenant Shea.
Take him aside. Kelinda, the female.
Captain?
Go! As a leader, you realize the importance of discipline. I need you and these other specialists, but those two are unnecessary.
I'm responsible. Let them go.
I think we're somewhat alike, Captain. Each of us cares less for his own safety than for the others' lives of his command. We feel pain when our others suffer for our mistakes. Your punishment shall be to watch them die. Captain? Proceed, Hanar.
Hanar backs up and faces Lieutenant Shea and Yeoman Thompson. Hanar presses the button on his belt and the two are transformed into cubes of solid matter. Hanar bends down and picks up the cubes.
Bring them to me.
Hanar hands them to Rojan, who walks over to Kirk with them and shows them to him.
The essence of what they were, the flesh and brain and what you call the personality, distilled down into these compact shapes and once crushed.
Rojan crumbles one of the cubes in his hands, letting the powder and debris it creates fall to the ground.
This person is dead. However,
Rojan throws the other cube to where Thompson and Shea were originally standing.
That one can be restored. Hanar?
Hanar presses the button on his belt again and Shea reappears. Kirk looks down at the ground at his feet and bends down to pick up the crumbled bits that used to be Thompson. Cut to space. The Enterprise is still orbiting the planet. We hear Kirk in voiceover.
Captain's log, stardate 4657.5. Work is proceeding on the Enterprise as my crew is forced to make the required changes in the ship for intergalactic travel. I can't forget the picture of Yeoman Thompson crushed to a handful of dust.
Focus back on the planet's surface. The away team is back in the cell.
Spock, are you sure you're all right?
Yes. Quite all right, Doctor.
You didn't look very well when you broke that mind touch.
I did not break it, Doctor. I was thrown away by something I've never experienced before. Whoa.
What was it?
A series of bizarre and exotic images bursting on my mind and consciousness. Colors, shapes, mathematical equations fused and blurred. I've been attempting to isolate them, but so far I've been able to recall clearly only one. Immense beings, 100 limbs which resemble tentacles, minds of such control and capacity that each limb is capable of performing a different function.
Do you mean that that's what the Kelvans really are?
Well, undoubtedly.
Well, if they look that way normally, why did they adapt themselves to our bodies?
Perhaps practicality. They chose the Enterprise as the best vessel for the ship. Immense beings with hundreds tentacles would have difficulty with the turbolift. We've got to stop them. We outnumber them. Their only hold on us is the paralysis field.
Well, that's enough. One wrong move, and they jam all our neural circuits.
Jam! Spock, if you reverse the circuits on McCoy's neuroanalyzer, can you set up a counter field to jam the paralysis projector?
I'm dubious of the possibilities of success, Captain. The medical equipment is not designed to put out a great deal of power. The
Is there a chance at all?
polarized elements would burn out quickly.
We'll take it. You and Bones have to get to the ship.
How?
Yes.
Kirk pauses for a moment thinking. Then a thought occurs to him and he looks back to Spock.
Mr. Spock, you're sick.
I assure you, Captain, I am in perfect health.
No, you're not. Dr. McCoy has given you a thorough examination and you're ill. In fact, if you don't get to the sick bay, you are going to die.
It's a good idea, Jim, but anyone looking at him can tell he's healthy.
Vulcans have the ability to place themselves in a kind of trance, complete relaxation of every part of the mind and body.
We find it more restful to the body than your so-called vacation.
Can you do it now and come out of it in the side bay, say, in half an hour?
It will take a moment to pack the bowl.
Go ahead.
Spock touches his forehead, straightens up, then falls into McCoy and Kirk's arms.
Jim, his heartbeat is real slow. His pulse is practically non-existent.
Kirk rushes to the door of their cell.
Hanar? Hanar!
What do you want, human?
Mr. Spock is ill. The doctor thinks he may be dying.
This illness came on him rather suddenly. Is it not unusual?
He's a Vulcan. They don't react like humans.
He may die. If I can get him up to sickbay, there's a chance he'll live.
Stand away from the door.
Kirk moves back and Hanar opens the bars and enters. He walks over to McCoy and Spock and has a quick look at Spock.
I will have you beamed aboard.
Do what you can with him, Bones.
We cut to interior sickbay. McCoy and Tomar enter sickbay with Spock on a stretcher. Doctor, what happened?
Prepare 2 cc's of stokeline.
Stokeline? But doctor, that's...
Don't argue, nurse. Just get it.
Nurse Chapel exits the ward into another room to get the stokeline. McCoy picks up a medical tricorder and starts to examine Spock with it while Tomar looks on. Nurse Chapel hands the stokeline hypospray to McCoy and he injects Spock.
This may be the turning point. Prepare another shot.
But, doctor...
Please, nurse. Just follow orders, will you?
Spock opens his eyes, then shuts them again before she returns with the hypospray. McCoy gives another injection as Tomar watches from a little distance.
There. That should do it. Just let him rest now. You see, it's a flare-up of Frigilian cassava fever. He suffered from it about 10 years ago, and it recurs every now and then. There's no danger. If he gets his medication on time, he'll be all right in a couple of hours.
Very well then. I will inform Rojan. You stay here.
Tomar leaves sickbay. Planet surface. Kirk is out of the cell and speaking with Rojan, while Kelinda is examining a flowering bush in the background.
What do you want from me now?
We will beam aboard the vessel shortly. I wish you to understand your duties.
My duty is to stop you in any way I can.
You will obey!
Or you will kill more of my people?
Captain Kirk, I cannot do not understand the importance of my mission. We Kelvans have a code of honor. Harsh, demanding. It calls for much of us. And much from those whom we conquer. You have been conquered! I respect your devotion to duty, but I cannot permit it to interfere with mine.
Focus on Kelinda, who has picked a flower from the bush and smells it.
These are lovely. Captain Kirk, what is it you, call them?
Flowers. I don't know the variety.
Our memory tapes, tell us of such things on Kelvan. Crystals that form with such rapidity, they, seem to grow. They, look like this fragile thing somewhat. We, call them sachet.
A rose by any other name.
Captain?
A quote from the great human poet Shakespeare. That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet.
Kirk takes the flower from Kelinda, crushes it in his hand, and throws it to the ground.
Ah!
Focus on space. The Enterprise is seen leaving the planet's orbit. Interior bridge. Captain Kirk is back on the bridge, along with Chekov, Uhura, Drea, Kelinda, and Rojan.
Drea has computed and laid a course for Kelva, Captain.
We've just jumped to warp 8.
And we'll go faster yet. Increase speed to warp 11.
Increase speed to warp 11, Master Chekov.
On course and proceeding as planned. We will approach the barrier within an hour.
Very well.
Kirk rises from the captain's chair and walks over to Rojan.
Rojan, I am going to the sick bay. My first officer was taken ill.
Yes, I was informed. You may go.
Focus on medical laboratory. Kirk enters. Spock, McCoy, and Scott are working on panels.
Anything?
I've located their power source, Captain. It's installed in engineering.
We're just going to jam it.
I've tied in all the lab computers. That will give it a bit more power to push with.
Focus on engineering. Scott and Spock are in the upper gallery, while Kirk is apparently talking to Tomar below in main engineering. There is a round metal object on the console. Scott and Spock examine it.
This is it. Now what are we all going to do?
Whatever it is we must do, it is impossible.
Why, laddie?
This material surrounding the projector, it is the same as I discovered on the planet. Readings indicate it is impervious to any of our weapons. We cannot penetrate the casing to get to the machine.
That's it then.
There is one other possibility, I guess, Mr. Scott. The final decision, of course, must be the captain's. But I believe we must have it ready for him. The Enterprise is propelled by matter, antimatter reactors. The barrier we must traverse is negative energy. Whoa, Downer.
I see what you're getting at, you stunner. I can't say I like it.
Nor I. But it must be made available to the captain so he could trip with us.
Scott and Spock get busy working at a station in engineering. Interior corridor.
Captain Kirk to bridge, please.
Spock and Scott meet up with Kirk and enter the turbolift. Interior turbolift.
Well,
Impossible, Captain. The power source is protected by a material we cannot breach even with our phasers. Mr. Scott and I have prepared the means for the only logical alternative available to us. What? The barrier we must penetrate is composed of negative energy. Whoa, Downer.
what?
The barrier we must penetrate is composed of negative energy.
I have opened the control valves to the matter-antimatter nacelles. On your signal, I will flood them with positive energy.
When we engage the barrier, the ship will explode. The Kelvans will be stopped here.
And so will we.
Suddenly, the turbolift doors open, cutting their conversation short. They have arrived at the bridge.
Take your places, gentlemen. We are approaching the barrier.
They look at the view screen and see the image of the barrier. Kirk takes the captain's chair. Spock and Scott, their consoles. As the barrier approaches, Scott's finger is poised over a flashing button, which we know will destroy the ship. We cut to exterior space. As the Enterprise flies through space, we hear Kirk in voiceover.
Captain's log, stardate 4658.9. With the Enterprise under control of the Kelvans, we are approaching the energy barrier at the edge of our galaxy. Spock and Scotty have devised a suicide plan to stop the Kelvans. They have rigged the ship to explode on my signal.
Focus on interior bridge.
Reading, Spock.
Sensors indicate densely negative, radiation negative, energy negative, everything negative. Whoa, Downer.
Kirk looks back and forth between Spock and Scotty, who still has his finger poised over the flashing button. Kirk begins to chew his fingernails with uncertainty.
All instruments off the dials, Captain. We are in contact with the barrier.
Outside
your
hull
position.
temperatures rising, sir. It's over 2,000 degrees now. Sir?
Scott throws the switches to stop the buttons flashing. The ship starts shaking as it passes through the barrier into intergalactic space.
We made it. Instruments returning to normal, Captain.
All decks report damaging.
Several systems out, sir. Operating on emergency backup. None affecting flight procedure.
Life support sustaining on emergency.
I'll have a full report on ship status for you in a moment, sir.
Your people are most efficient, Captain.
Thank you. So are yours.
Hanar, start the neutralizing operation.
Upon hearing this, Kirk spins around in his chair, surprised, and bolts over to Rojan. Hanar leaves the bridge.
What neutralizing operation?
You humans are troublesome for us. We needed you to get through the barrier, but there aren't enough of us to efficiently guard you all of the time. Further, the food synthesizers cannot manufacture enough food for the entire journey. We are therefore neutralizing all non-essential personnel.
No!
The procedure is already underway. Now, as to the bridge personnel, Drea, we have no need for communication.
They focus on Uhura, who has a look of surprise on her face. Drea presses the button on her belt, and Uhura is reduced to a block of matter like we saw earlier.
And since Drea is capable of handling the ship from here on,
Rojan and Drea turn to the other crew members on the bridge, use their belts. and Chekov and 3 crew members now share the same fate as Uhura. Kirk, Spock, and McCoy are shocked at this turn of events. Interior corridor. Kirk is walking along as he comes across a cluster of blocks and some instruments on the floor. As he turns to walk away, he stops short as he realizes Rojan is behind him.
Do you not agree that this is a better thing for them than exploding the ship as your engineer had thought to do? We detected it, of course. Tomar has devised a mechanism to prevent any further tampering. Please accept your situation, Captain. It will make things much less painful for you.
Kirk looks back at the corridor littered with the blocks that used to be his crew, and then walks away from Rojan. Interior rec room. Kirk enters. Spock, McCoy, and Scotty are all sitting at a table with plates of brightly colored food in front of them.
Is this all?
I have reviewed ship's personnel, Captain. It appears we are the only ones the Kelvans consider essential.
Scotty tells me you could have destroyed the ship in the barrier. Why didn't you?
I couldn't.
But that was our only chance to stop them.
I didn't think it was.
Jim,
Bones, that's enough.
Jim, I saw them reduce 4 doctors and nurses into those little...
They've reduced the whole crew.
Kirk slams his fist down on the table in anger just as Tomar enters the room.
I do not understand why you take the trouble to consume this bulk material to sustain yourselves. We have ascertained that these contain all the nutritional elements.
Before you condemn it, why not try it?
I believe I will. Assist me.
It's your idea, Doctor. Go ahead.
All right, I'll show you how to work the selector.
McCoy gets up from the table and walks over to the selector. He gets a tray of food for Tomar and sits him down at another table. Tomar takes a cautious mouthful. Scotty whispers to Spock and Kirk.
Sir, why don't we try again to knock out the paralysis projector? I know the casings look impenetrable, but I may be able to do something.
Even if we could, it's out of the question. We need that projector to bring our people back to human form.
Then how will we stop the Kelvans?
Captain?
They look over at Tomar, who is enjoying his meal.
It's quite good.
I'm delighted.
McCoy walks away from Tomar's table and heads back to his own food. Tomar continues to eat as Spock looks on.
Most curious.
What is?
The isolated glimpses of things I saw when I touched Kelindra's mind are beginning to coalesce in my consciousness. Whoa, the Kelvans have superior intellectual capacity. To achieve it, they have apparently sacrificed anything.
But then Tomar shouldn't be enjoying the taste of his food.
To distract them. Perceptive senses such as taste, touch, smell, and of course, emotions. Yes, quite correct, Captain. But they have taken human form and are therefore having human reactions like being stoned.
If he keeps reacting like that, he's going to need a diet.
They all respond to stimulation of the senses, then maybe we can distract them. They can't have been able to handle the senses yet. If we can confuse them enough, we can get those devices from their belts.
That seems reasonable.
All right. It may be our only chance. Look for any way to stimulate the senses.
I can think of one right off.
Scotty gets up from the table and heads over to Tomar.
Laddie, you're going to need something to wash that down with. Have you ever tried a Saurian brandy?
Tomar thinks about the question for a moment and shakes his head. Interior sickbay. McCoy is examining Hanar with a medical tricorder.
I don't know about that.
Please articulate.
Well, that body of yours is a bit anemic. Comes from taking food and pills instead of solid sustenance.
McCoy picks up a hypospray.
What are you doing?
I'm going to give you a shot. High potency vitamin concentrate. You'll need 3 a day for a few days.
McCoy injects Hanar with the hypospray.
And eat some solid food, will you?
Cut to interior Scotty's quarters. Tomar downs a glass of liquid. Tomar attempts to refill his glass, but the brandy bottle is empty.
No more.
Interior Kelinda's quarters. Kirk enters. Kelinda is at a desk, apparently working.
Am I disturbing you?
Kelinda gets up from the desk and goes to Kirk.
What is it you like?
I wish to apologize
I don't understand, Captain.
for hitting you. I'm sorry.
That is like not necessary. You like attempted to escape as we would have.
Yes, well, I don't usually go around beating up beautiful women.
Why not?
Well, there are better things for men and women to do.
Like what?
Kirk begins to stroke her collarbone gently.
Oh.
Is this where I hit you?
No, the like other side.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Kirk walks around to Kelinda so he is behind her and gently kisses her on the shoulder.
Is that better?
Better? Was it like intended as a remedy?
Kirk spins her
This
around.
is.
And, true to his typical Kirk ways, he embraces her and kisses her on the lips.
Is there some like significance to this action?
Well, among humans, it's meant to express warmth and love.
Oh, you're trying to seduce me. I have been like studying
Me?
you. Like all humans, this business of love, you have like devoted much literature to it. Why do you build such a mystique around like a simple biological function?
We enjoy it.
Your literature?
Kelinda, I'm sorry I brought up the whole subject.
Do you really regard this touching of the lips as like pleasurable?
I did.
Oh, curious. Let me try.
Kelinda kisses Kirk deeply and passionately.
Is there some problem, Captain?
Not when I came in.
Kirk leaves Kelinda's quarters.
What did he want here?
He came to like apologize for hitting me. Apparently it like involves some peculiar touching contact.
In what manner?
Kelinda kisses Rojan.
Very odd creatures, these humans.
Cut to Scotty's quarters. Tomar empties a new bottle into his glass. Scotty and Tomar clink glasses and down an orangish liquid they contain. Both men are looking and acting very drunk.
Do you have more?
Not of this.
Anything?
Scotty stumbles back to another part of his quarters in search of a new bottle of liquor. Interior rec room. Spock and Rojan are playing 3D chess.
Yes, humans are very peculiar. I often find them unfathomable, but an interesting psychological study.
Well, I do not understand this business of pressing the lips to apologize.
Oh, I believe you're referring to a kiss, but it is my understanding that such apologies are usually exchanged between people who have some affection for each other.
Kelinda has no affection for Captain Kirk.
Your game is off, bro. Are you disturbed by the incident?
Why should I be disturbed?
You've known Kelinda for some time. She's a Kelvan, as you are. Among humans, I found the symptoms you're displaying usually indicate jealousy.
I have no reason for such a reaction. Kelinda's a female, nothing more.
Well, Captain Kirk seems to find her quite attractive.
Well, of course she is.
Are you not jealous?
No,
Nor upset?
certainly not.
Rojan moves a piece on the chessboard and Spock counters.
Ha! Checkmate.
Interior Scott's quarters. Scott reaches over and finds a new, full bottle and shows it to Tomar.
I found this in Gennywood.
What is it?
Well, it's it's green.
Interior Kelinda's quarters. Kelinda is primping herself in front of a mirror when Rojan walks in.
Kelinda, I have been thinking.
Yes.
I do not wish you to fraternize with any of the humans.
Ugh, why not?
Well, they offer such strange ideas. They are not meant for us, not for Kelvin.
Have you like given this order to the others?
9. And if you wish to particularly avoid Captain Kirk, I wish you to avoid Captain Kirk.
Like, I will not. You have told me over and over and over and over and over again. Humans are not like a threat to us. We are superior. I will do as I please.
Kelinda turns and walks away from him and goes back to the mirror. Rojan grabs a hold of her.
You will do as I say, or I will neutralize your Captain Kirk and all the other humans as well.
Kelinda looks down at Rojan's hand on her arm, and he realizes this is quite out of character for him. Interior sickbay. McCoy is giving Hanar another shot.
How many more of these?
Well, now, let's see. You've had 3 shots. I think you better stay on them for a few days, and then we'll see how you're responding.
I see no reason for you to refer to yourself in the plural.
Hanar leaves sickbay, and McCoy watches him go. When he turns back, he has a sly smile on his face. Interior Scott's quarters. Scott and Tomar have finished yet another bottle and are clearly extremely drunk.
You have more?
All I have is this bottle of very, very, very
old Scotch. Whiskey!
Oh, I will try it.
I'll get it!
Scotty takes the helmet off of a bust of a suit of armor and reaches in, removing a very dusty bottle. He blows the dust off the bottle and starts to talk to it.
Oh, darling, I was saving you for...
What?
Never mind. Give us your glass.
Scott pours a very large glass of whiskey for Tomar. Interior rec room. Kirk, McCoy, and Spock are talking.
The thing is, I can't tell if we are getting anywhere, and I hadn't seen Scotty in hours.
We haven't seen Tomar either, but my man Hanar is getting more irritable by the minute. I'm giving him shots of Febrauary. That shouldn't have him climbing the walls.
Rojan has exhibited symptoms of jealousy.
Kelinda enters.
I would like to speak with you, Captain.
Doctor, I'm due for another injection of stokeline. Stokeline?
Oh, you'll pardon us.
Spock and McCoy leave.
You had something to say?
Yes, this cultural mystique surrounding the biological function.
Yes.
You realize humans are overly preoccupied with the subject.
Yes, we do think a great deal about it.
I've done some supplemental reading on it, and
You have a question?
yes. I was wondering, would you please apologize to me again?
Kelinda gives him a sly look, and Kirk smiles back, devilishly. Cut to interior bridge. Rojan and Drea are manning the bridge. Hanar enters from the turbo lift.
Rojan, I want to talk to you.
Very well.
First, I do not like the way responsibility and duty has been portioned out to us.
It's the way your duties have always been assigned.
That is my second quarrel with you.
Hanar!
And further, I do not care much for the way you run this ship.
Hanar, confine yourself to quarters.
Ugh.
Hanar storms off the bridge, and Rojan hits the arm of the captain's chair. Drea stares. Interior rec room. Kirk and Kelinda are entwined in a passionate kiss. Eventually, they come up for air.
Rojan has forbidden me to see you.
Yes, that's too bad. Why do you defy him?
It's not a question of defiance. We were told to find out everything we could about you.
Huh. And how's your research going?
I need some more experiments.
They embrace each other again and go back to kissing. Interior bridge. Spock enters from the turbo lift. Rojan is sitting in the captain's chair.
Mr. Spock, you were not ordered to the bridge. What is your purpose here?
Whoa, get off my back, bro. Automatic sensors and various other recording devices require monitoring and periodic adjustments.
Very well. Proceed.
Spock walks over to the science station. Rojan watches him for a minute, has a thought, and then gets up from the chair and walks over to him.
Have you seen Captain Kirk?
Oh man, if you wish, I could show you. But I don't have time. I shall call him to the bridge.
No. I was just wondering where he was.
I left him in the recreation room.
He was alone then.
No, Kelinda was with him. She seemed anxious to speak with him.
I told her to stay away from him.
Oh, well, it would appear, sir, that you have little control over her. Or perhaps Captain Kirk has more.
Rojan storms off the bridge. Cut to Scotty's quarters. The last drops of scotch go into Tomar's glass.
Very interesting, but I feel rather strange.
The alcohol has finally hit Tomar. He loses consciousness, hits his head off the table, and then falls off his chair onto the floor. Scotty looks at the bottle of scotch and begins to speak to it again.
Did it, lassie? You and me. Put him right under the table.
Scotty kisses the empty bottle and then gets up, stumbles over to Tomar, and takes the paralyzer off of Tomar's belt.
I'll take this to the captain.
He manages to get to the door of his quarters, then stops and gently falls back against the wall. He slides to the floor and passes out, just like Tomar. Cut to interior rec room. Kirk and Kelinda are still kissing. Rojan barges in and interrupts them, angry.
Kelinda, I told you to avoid this human.
I did not wish to.
I am your commander.
That's enough, Rojan.
Kirk puts his arm around Kelinda in an attempt to further infuriate Rojan.
You did this to her, corrupted her, turned her away from me.
If you can't keep her, that's not my problem.
You will release her.
Rojan drags Kirk away from Kelinda. Kirk slaps him across the face. Twice. Rojan attacks Kirk and they begin to fight, knocking over chairs and throwing each other against the wall. Kelinda looks on, shocked. Rojan throws Kirk across the room. Kirk slides across the table, knocking a game that was set up on the floor. Rojan rushes him, but Kirk gets up quickly and gives a swift kick to the chest and then pins him to a table.
You thought I was taking your woman away from you? You're jealous. You tried to kill me with your bare hands. Would a Kelvan do that? Would he have to? You're reacting with the emotions of a human. You are a human.
Nein, I cannot be!
Rojan throws off Kirk into the arms of Spock and McCoy, who are entering the room.
I'm stimulating him.
McCoy pushes Kirk back into the center of the room to continue his fight with Rojan. Kirk manages to overpower him again. They continue to struggle as Kirk keeps a hold of him.
You have no choice. To use this ship, you have to use our form, and now you're stuck with it. You and your descendants for the next 300 years.
You fool! These bodies are tools. We remain Kelvans.
Look what's happened in the short time you've been exposed to us. What do you think will happen in 3 centuries? When this ship gets to Kelva, the people on it will be human. They'll be aliens, enemies.
We have a duty. Our mission. We've got to accomplish any way we can.
Your mission is to find new worlds for your people to live in. You can still do that. We can bring this problem to the Federation. There are many planets in this galaxy that can be inhabited.
You would really do that? You would extend welcome to invaders?
Kirk lets go of Rojan and clasps his shoulders.
No, but we would welcome friends.
Rojan, you are only a link in a chain, following an order given 300 years ago. This is an opportunity for you to establish your own destiny.
Perhaps. Perhaps it could be done.
A robot ship could be sent to Kelva with the Federation proposal.
But if we attain this form, where could we find peace?
Seems to me like that little planet you're on is kind of nice.
Rojan turns and walks over to Kelinda.
And you? You wish to remain with him?
He's like most interesting, but I wish to go with you. I believe I owe you like an apology.
Kelinda embraces Rojan and kisses him.
Oh my glob, it's most pleasurable.
Yes, very curious.
You see, Rojan, being human does have certain advantages. Being able to appreciate the beauty of a flower or a woman.
Rojan ponders what Kirk has said, makes a decision, walks over to a console, and presses a button.
Bridge, this is Rojan.
Yes, Commander.
I am returning the command of the ship to Captain Kirk. You will follow his orders.
Sir?
Turn the ship around. We're going home.
The Enterprise turns around and begins to head back to its own galaxy.
And that concludes our reading of, by any other name, the 22nd episode of the second season of Star Trek, the original series. Thank you, everybody. Thanks to everybody who's watching live. Thank you to all our performers. What a great day. And here, I'm going to bring out our whole cast a few at a time because we only have 4 on screen at once. So introducing first, as Captain Kirk and Lieutenant Nyota Uhura, was Nightingale Nguyen. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Oh, that was the wrong button. I'm sorry. I have to push this button. Sorry about that. Nightingale. And then playing the part of Mr. Spock and Ensign Pavel Chekov was my brother Jeff.
Whoa. What's going on, guys?
Well, I'm just gonna I'll take myself off the screen. Actually, no, Jane, you have to come in here.
All right, I'm gonna move over.
You move over. Come over here.
Got a little southern.
Jane's here with me. Jane was playing the part of Dr. McCoy and Tomar, the engineer of the Kelvans. We had Jody Simpson, who was playing the parts of Lieutenant Commander Montgomery Scotty, and Drea, one of the Kelvans.
Thank you, Dave.
Yes. And also we had Michael Chan, who was playing the part, a couple Kelvans, playing the part of Kelinda and Hanar, and Yeoman Leslie Thompson, who met an unfortunate end.
Justice for Thompson, and oh my god, that was so hot, Captain Kirk.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
This even got weirder than I thought it could.
And of course, we had Ashley Millard as our narrator and playing the parts of Lieutenant Shea and Nurse Chapel. And
High five.
I never knew who to hide.
Other side. There we go.
Yeah, so if I go over here,
Worst siblings ever.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hide you there, Nightingale, for a second, and then I myself, I was playing the parts of Rojan, who was a German
Nazi
character.
Baddie. German baddie.
Nazi alien.
Yes. So thank you, all of you. Y'all did a terrific job. I know there was a bit of delay on Nightingale's end, so I will edit that out for the audio version so that the lines will have these big gaps in them. But for the video version, it is kind of what it is.
Beauty
you,
live.
Phillips.
Live.
How'd that feel for everybody? I know we don't have everybody on screen, but everybody can be heard.
Scotty.
That was awesome, man. Thank you for having Nightingale and me. This was a lot of fun.
I have a confession to make. I did not hear anybody, so I was going on pure instinct.
No.
It was weird.
So you couldn't hear us at all during
I just heard the sound cues, and I was just feeling you guys because I've heard you guys before. So I was like, I'm just gonna feel it out, and hopefully some inner spirit will guide me.
You did pretty good if you didn't hear anything.
I thought it was like just an internet audio, like a lag on your internet. Wow.
Yeah, I thought it was a lag as well.
So
I just heard the sound cues, and that was it. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna feel it out.
Really? Oh,
Wow,
okay.
that's
Well,
impressive.
that explains a lot.
That explains a lot. Yeah,
We're gonna have to figure that out.
We'll have to figure out what that is because obviously that doesn't work if one of us is out of sync with the rest. So we'll troubleshoot that. I want, just like I said, to thank you already. Thanks to the panel. We'll announce what our next episode is in the coming days. Usually after we go off the air, we pick what that is. Make sure to subscribe to us on Facebook and our YouTube channel. We're also on Spotify now, and you can catch us on any audio version. This podcast in particular works well as an audio version. Also here on Live Long and Podcast, we're doing Deep Space Nine rewatches every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock with Jamil Robinson, Jeff Mader, myself, and other special guests. On Thursdays, we do original series rewatches with my dad, Ted Mader, Jody Simpson, Adam Woodward, Jeff, other guests who come in for that one. And make sure to check out our other channels, including Super Mader Brothers Podcasting. We do TV and movie reviews over there, mostly unrelated to Star Trek, mostly Survivor related. And we're doing a bunch of stuff over there now with Josh Foster, as he's rewatching seasons of Survivor, and we're kind of talking to him about that. So we did the first one of that the other night. That was a great thing. And final plug, check out our monthly edition of Trivial Debates, which is our other channel, where it's an unscripted debate comedy show where we argue about movies, TV, music, sports, history, and more. So check that out on the last Sunday afternoon of every month for Trivial Debates. So any other final thoughts, everybody?
Can I do a plug quickly, Dave?
Yeah.
I would like to plug our greatest fan, Phyllis Millard.
Oh yes, we got some comments.
She's been
there.
making comments, and thank you, Phyllis.
Thank you.
We appreciate
that.
We
thanks,
appreciate your
Phyllis.
continued
Thanks
support.
for the comment.
Scotty got 2 thumbs up, and
Thank you, Phyllis.
And Jane, both characters were great too.
Is that a picture of young Kevin?
I prefer.
That is young Kevin, I think.
That is a picture of young Kevin, and with a
Yeah.
emoji of a mask below him.
Kevin is a teenager.
Kevin had hair?
Is that a
Long
mullet?
hair.
Yo, sick flow, bro.
Sick. Okay. Thank you for the comments, Philip. We appreciate the support, and tell everybody you know, because we like having the comments, and we like having
Pay them to listen if you have to.
Yeah, if we have to. Yeah, we
We'll
have
pay
a
them.
slush fund for that.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. All right. Have a great afternoon and day and night, everybody. I will catch you next week, probably next Friday or Saturday, once we figure out the scheduling and what episodes could be. And check out those other shows. Live Long and Podcast and Long Life. Take care. Bye.